Nauradin, my guy, what are you saying, man? Hey, 5-2 today. Emphatic, loads of positives, couple of little negatives, but way more positives.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? It's great to see. Obviously, we've all been calling for it. You know, the majority of the fan base who watch United game in, game out, we all can see the things that James can do. We also know that when we play against teams that are mainly more in a defensive shape, it's difficult to find that type of space. So we know what Mason can do. You know what I mean? There's not enough. You know what I mean? I've been screaming about this kid for a long, long time. And just that balance of him being able to take the ball on the turn, to be able to hold the ball, to be able to get the touches, to be able to set. He's got more composure and more of a footballing kind of footballing attributes to his game than James has. So to see that and see those top three linking up and now the interchanging between Martial, Rashford and Greenwood and seeing how that dynamic works when you got Pogba and Bruno behind them it's gonna be absolute madness. And it's a joy to see, because this is the things that all of us have been thinking. When it comes to this, can Ollie let them express themselves? Does Ollie has to announce? Does the coaching staff has to announce? Can we see this football that Man United, you know, the levels that we can go up to in terms of expressing ourselves in attacking areas? Yeah, I mean, I called it about Martial because about 15 minutes, my mind was just on Martial because I'm like, okay, he's not in the box because there was absolutely no room. The amount of times that Wan-Bissaka was crossing the ball or the ball was getting in the box, and it was about 6 or 7 defenders. You know, I mean, even the guy who scored for Bournemouth, he was playing us like the left back, because the left back is inside their 18-yard box. So he goes outside of the area, and I can imagine a lot of people are screaming, "Why is he not in the box? Why is he not?" That's the reason why he's not in the box, because he knew the space is out wide. So he can do that beautiful shot, that beautiful bend.
It was brilliant, isn't it? And you know, back to what you're saying there about, can Ollie allow these guys to express himself, and can Ollie change our fortunes around? You just look at how he's getting these guys playing at the moment and the free-flowing football. Is it just down to Bruno?
No, but because we've seen this, we've seen a little bit of this before. I mean, in a different context, we've seen it when he first came. We've seen that solidity of the midfield. You know, Herrera, Pogba. You know what I mean? And Matic. We've seen that what that offers us. And in terms of when the players that fit, and at that time it was Lingard, Martial, and Rashford. You know what I mean? With Lukaku coming in and out of that. So we've seen this before. We've seen when we've got a midfield stability to work from, the creativity naturally will come. Even though, I mean, I know that a lot of people might not be able to see it because everything's all about Bruno at the moment, but I'm loving the levels of discipline that Pogba's bringing into his game. The way he's just not about the limelight. He's doing the bits that nobody's seeing and noticing, the positions he's taking place. When Wan-Bissaka goes bums forward, he's getting back in that position. So we've seen this football from United before, but it's about, with Bruno now, with that extra quality, that which we've all been screaming out. And let's get this right. If McTominay didn't get injured, if Rashford wasn't injured, if Pogba wasn't injured, Bruno would not be here. You know, I know, and most of the fan boys know. The club were not budging to get him. It was because it was emergency, and Ollie kept saying, I need a player in this position because these players are not fit. So we will see. Like I said, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. But one thing I would say about the performance is that the defense was madness there at the back.
Let's talk about that. Was it the defense as a whole, or was it certain individuals?
I think when we play as a unit, yeah, there's a certain individuals, but to me, he reacted to it straight away. I mean, I don't know, maybe the excuse might come that Lindelof took a bang or whatever, or is not fit. But we could see the amount of firepower that Bournemouth had in terms of strength and speed and skill that Bayern needed to become, because the way we were attacking, we hemmed them in. I mean, majority of that game, especially in the first half, even before they scored, we were hemming them in. But 1 or 2 bit of technique and 1 or 2 passes, they were away, and one-on-one with Maguire. Do you know what I mean? And you know, I've said enough. There's videos out there on YouTube about me saying about Maguire. He's a great player, but that he can get turned really quickly in small spaces, and he hasn't got the pace. It takes him time to gather. His attributes is that he understands that thing, so he tries to cover it up by his positioning, by being aggressive and stepping onto the ball. But Baye had to come on. But that ball Matic gave Baye, like, are you kidding me? And I see on Twitter and that shots at Goldbridge saying that Baye should have controlled. You can't position your body to head that ball.
It was all up there. It's up there.
The ball is here, and hit him on top of his shoulder.
It wasn't even a handball. Yeah,
exactly. Hit him on the top of his shoulder. So it's that kind of man. But he dealt with it. You see Baye there stepping in again and able to. But can he stay fit? Do we trust Baye to stay fit for a long season for us to be able to challenge? I think there's a guy called Koulibaly is out there. Are Man United willing to? How bad do the club's ambition, the fans' ambitions match the hierarchy of our club? That's the question, bro. That's the question. Does all the things that what we want, all our ambitions and where we want Man United to be back to, does that happen in the boardroom or the owners? Because Koulibaly is the guy we should get if we really want to challenge. And even after the game, Rio Ferdinand and I spending time talking about that. He analysed that. He said, you need guys. And the other day when we were watching City or Liverpool, they're both like that cockiness of both teams to go halfway land and go, come on then.
Yeah.
We can't do that, bro. We can't do that with Maguire and Lindelof. We can't. And Baye, I think he can be part of the squad, but I just don't trust that he's going to stay fit for that long.
I agree. I see where you're going with that. And I think especially it's going to be really important coming up to this summer because there's a lot of things right. There's a lot of things starting to make sense. There's a lot of things going in the right direction. The front line looks good. You're looking at that reinforcement. Obviously, Jadon Sancho is the number one priority. That makes the forward line complete in my eyes. You're looking at midfield. Pogba's probably almost certainly going to stay. Bruno's unbelievable. Matic is giving that protection, but you want that Jack Grealish in there as well to maybe give some, if Bruno drops out or whatever, compete for places. Let's get that real quality in there. And you're right. I just think when you look at the centre backs, it's always that little. We do well for a little period, and then it's the types of goals we concede when we concede. Because I don't want to blow this out of proportion. We're not leaking goals like a tap, game after game after game after game after game. That's a bigger issue. But the scrutiny has to be so high because of the gap that we want to try and close. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's justified saying we need a bit better in that area. I agree with that.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that every week we're not going to score 5 every week, bro? There's going to be times when the game's going to be super tight and the level of quality goes up.
Yeah, and you can't afford to concede too.
Exactly, and saying I'll give it to Bournemouth because they came attacking. Because, like I said, they had nothing to lose. I put the tweet out there earlier saying they've got nothing to lose.
Dangerous games.
Everybody's expecting United to hammer them. So, and the tactics that he played, you know what I mean, like. So I'm like, where are these attacking players? Where have they been against Newcastle? You know what I mean? But when they come to Old Trafford, even though there's no fans there, they turn
Yeah, well, exactly. When you've got nothing to lose, you become fearless. But ultimately, though, Nauradin, it was a scintillating win and some very, very good performances.
I mean, the goals, the positions that people were taking up. I mean, and even that offside, like saying that Rashford, that's not offside, man. Come on. That's when you're begging, innit? That's when you're really begging. And then they contradict themselves because they see Matic's foot is further than Rashford's body or foot was. You know what I mean? So it's mad. Even we're not in the stadium, we can't really celebrate even. So I can't jump up because I'm like, are they going to find something? Are they going to find something? So it is what it is. But to me, I'm just saying defensively, that worries me. But I think the thing about it is that we're getting gassed, you know what I mean? Like a brethren of mine calls this the Avengers, the 5 on top. That's what he calls it.
He was saying that, wasn't he?
Yeah. But these Avengers, right? When they're injured, bro, when one of them loses form or 2 of them lose form or 2 of them get injury, what have you got off the bench? Let's be real. Grealish,
that's the biggest problem. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Grealish, Sancho. Look at City. They just sold Mane and they're bringing on Gundogan. They're bringing on Mahrez. These are quality players. Bernardo Silva. We need to, and people like, our fan base, they're almost stuck in another kind of a time zone or a period. They're like, why do we need that player? We've already got this player. If you're going to challenge for the Champions League and the league, because this is what we want Man United to get back to. Challenging for the Champions League, challenging for the league, right, title. If we want to get back to that, we need to have a squad's challenge for those things, bro. Not first 11. And to me, the biggest thing was against Brighton, soon as we took off, Bruno and Pogba, the levels just dipped, bro. Levels just dipped. So that worries me because I'm like, these guys, then we need to cut them in, like, we need to wrap them in cotton wool. And we can't do that because they're footballers. So injuries are going to happen. And we're going to be back to that type of not being able to create things and be frustrated. You know what I mean? And also, psychologically as well, there is the bit of panic within the team. That, because I called it the bottle job tendencies. That doesn't go away, bro. That doesn't go away when you're playing scintillating football. There's going to be games in this season where it's going to be super tight, bro. Super tight. In the Europa League, in the FA Cup, it's going to be super tight. It is where that finish, that take that chance, or whether you make that block, or you have somebody like Bayo on the pitch that can come in and recover, you know, when we get counter-attacks on. So there's still a lot of things to improve on, but we like the way it's going. We like 100%. The way it's going.
Long way to go. Nauradin, to finish off, who is your man of the match?
Greenwood, bro. Greenwood. I mean, I was gutted that he had to take him off. I understand why he has to take him off, because it's also protecting him from the media as well, because if he would have got a hat-trick today, you know what I mean? You know, he becomes the news story and the headlines. And obviously, he's a young player, and all of those things can sometimes get into your head. But he looks like he's not that type of people that nothing bothers him. Do you know what I mean? Just the way he's mannerism. So, but to me, it's the right foot, bro. Because I've been talking about that right foot and letting people know. Forget about the left. It's the right foot. And the way he took the right foot, he's running away, bro. He's going away, and the levels of technique, not even to have that much of a back lift. It was like a punch, bro. This kid doesn't finish. He punches the balls in, bro. Left or right, he'll punch it in. And he scored that goal to get us back, because we're all nervous. We all know, as a United fan base, they go 1-0 up. They're countering us. To make it 1-1 psychologically, that changes the game. So definitely goes to him. But Bruno, rest of them also played well as well.
Big up yourself, Nauradin, bro. I'll see you very, very soon, bro.
Peace, brother. Peace.
Take care, man. All right.